Let's talk to God. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk to God. Woo!
Hey everybody, it's Cutler here in the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, the Let's Talk to Cutler YouTube channel, the Let's Talk to Cutler virtual book club. It's another Thursday. It's time for us to spend these 1800 seconds together. So come on and let's do this. Let's make it happen. It's the 6th of April. Oh, happy birthday to a very good friend of mine, attorney Sonia Bailey. And just in case you're wondering, what is that guy talking about? What's going on? Why should I even bother to tune in? Let me just tell you, don't just up and run, up and leave, and just jump and turn the other way. This channel is about inspiration. It's about motivation. It's about challenging ourselves to show up and see what we can do to make sure that we've shown up better today than we did yesterday, or to see what we can do about being deliberate and intentional in our efforts to show up better tomorrow than we have today. It's about making sure this conversation is about grabbing some nuggets to make sure that we do everything we can to show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations. That's what it's all about. I'm trying to show up my best self, even in the worst of situations. And I'm trying to encourage and inspire and challenge other people to do the same thing. Sometimes the challenge takes us out of our comfort zone, but you never stop trying. You just don't give up on people. I don't give up on people. Why? Because there was a day when someone did not give up on me. So I'm so thankful for that. And how about the people who gave up on you? You just got to count it as a loss and keep on going, because there were people who gave up on us, but thankfully there were people who didn't give up on us. And so you have to be thankful for those who did not give up on you. And you, in turn, you return the favor, you pay it forward, and you just keep on marching. So I'm thankful for the people who did not give up on me, even sometimes when I gave up on myself. How about that? I have a preacher friend who would say, I'm talking real good now. But I guess sometimes you say things that sort of resonate with you, right? But listen, I'm thankful for people who didn't give up on me. So let's not give up on each other. Let's show each other what it looks like to be our best selves, even in the worst of situations. So you all come on in, chat, and tell other people, come on, let's talk to Cutler, because he's going to talk about something else tonight. That's a real situation for real world and real people living in this real world. I do want to say thank you to those of you who pop in and show up occasionally, and sometimes you hear consistently, you catch the replays. But thank you all so very much for this moment where we get to exchange and have a dialogue. If you have not joined my channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. What are you waiting for? Just subscribe, and then after you subscribe, click that notification bell. Why? Because the notification bell lets you know whenever I've gone live. It lets you know whenever I have uploaded new content. So subscribe, like, subscribe, and share, as the song says. All right, I want to shout out the LTTC VIPs, those who jumped into the chat early tonight, or at least you jumped into the chat before some others did. But as you're coming in, I see you coming in, come on over to the chat, say hi, say good evening, say something so that everybody will see that you're here. Let me shout out those top 3 people who jumped in the chat tonight. It's T. Cutler, who says, good evening, LTTC family. Annie Cutler, who says, let's ride. Marissa says, good evening, everyone. So it's so good to see all of you. It really, really is good. I want to ask you all something as we begin the conversation tonight. Because I thought about, how often do we tell people we love them? How often do people say to us, I love you? And I wanted to ask you all, before even telling you what the topic was, I was going to just ask you, what do the words communication, affection, trust, appreciation, and mutual respect have in common? They seem to be elements of love. Have you all ever heard people tell you that they love you and you wondered, you really do? Is that how you treat people that you love? Have you ever had that question? Or maybe I'm the only one here on this platform this evening who has ever had that question when people say, I love you. Or then when you say, I love you to other people, what does that mean? What does it look like? And I'm not talking about love within the context of romantic love. And I'm just talking about love in general, love just love on the level of embracing humanity, love on the level of appreciating friends, love on the level of showing mutual respect and trust and communication and all those sorts of things. What does it look like? How do you show love? Cutler, why are you having that topic? I'm having that topic because a lot of times I think we allow people to treat us a certain way, even when they say they love us. I also think that sometimes when we tell other people that we love them, we create an expectation of behavior. And do we really meet that expectation? So I want to challenge us this evening when we use the word love or when we receive the word love, when other people say it to us. How do you show love? Are we just willy-nilly walking around saying to people, I love you? When it manifests, what does it look like? Let's talk about that. I agree, McDonald, you're absolutely right. I certainly agree that love is an action word. So it's possible to have love and to receive love. But to have love and to receive love means that someone else is exercising or executing some sort of action. And when you give love, McDonald, you and Tracy are on the same, you all are on the same wavelength tonight. Yes, love is a verb, it's an action word. And what about when you give love, you're giving something, you're giving a thing, but giving love is still executing some sort of action, is showing some behavior. What does it look like? So let's talk about this, or let's at least approach this from two vantage points tonight. Let's do that. So let's think about when we love and when we receive love. What expectation are we giving to people when we say, I love you? One of the expectations that I think we're giving you all is making people feel safe around you. I think that's the cornerstone of all loving relationships, no matter whether it's romantic, whether it's sibling, whether it's on that level. I think making people feel safe is the cornerstone of what love is all about. Letting people know that you're not going to threaten them, that you're not going to harm them, that you're not creating any unnecessary pressure, that you're not going to damage them in any way. That's making people feel safe. That is the cornerstone of what love is all about. And when you consider the fact that I love you means that I want to make you feel safe around me, it means that not even I will hurt you, even if I have negative information to share, if I have not so positive information to share, because I want to create a safe space around you and create a safety net for you because I love you. That will temper the way in which I deliver bad news. That will temper the way in which I broach subjects that are not necessarily so convenient or so comfortable. That will temper the way that I offer my opinions when my opinions may not be the most comfortable to share in a moment. Love is about making people feel safe. And if you're going to tell people you love them, think about it. Do I make them feel safe around me? When they tell me that they love me, do they make me feel safe? Challenge the people who tell you that they love you and they don't mind hurting you. And be careful when you tell people you love them. Make sure that when you tell people you love them, that you do your level best to make sure that they feel safe around you. I'm a huge proponent of that. People that I love will never in my presence feel unsafe. And I'm not going to let anybody else mistreat them. I'm not going to not in my presence, I'm not going to let anybody mistreat them. I'm not going to let anybody hurt them. I'm not going to let anybody harm them. Not in my presence, because I love them. So think about it. Safety, creating a safe space, is a manifestation of love. Even in angry situations, you're careful with how you say what you say. Because at the end of the day, it is about me creating a safe space. So if I'm angry, I'm not going to say anything that hurts you. I'll swallow it and walk away until I'm able to come back and deliver it in a manner that I know is not going to hurt you. Does that make sense? That safety then really is the cornerstone of love. Think about everybody that you love, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your children, whether it's your parents, whether, I mean, no matter who it is, your siblings. When you say I love you to them, think about the fact that you've created a safe space, and that should make sense. That should work with us tonight. It should sit well with us tonight. And when you love people, here's another manifestation of what love looks like. It means that you listen to people. The people that you thank you, Tracy. Tracy says, yes, it makes a lot of sense. The people that you love, you listen to them. And what does that look like, Cutler? What it means? It means that you take an active interest in the details of their lives. I'm talking about how do you show love? I'm talking about when people say to you, I love you, what can you come to expect from them? One of the first things that we said is safety. The next thing we said is that they listen to you when they tell you they love you. And when you tell someone that you love them, you listen to them. You listen actively. You get involved. When they're talking, and active listening means that sometimes you have to repeat what they say to make sure that they're clear about that you are clear about what you heard. It means that sometimes you have to ask questions. It means that you give feedback. You listen. When you tell people that you love them, you listen to them. They should not always come around you and start speaking and talking, and you've turned a deaf ear. Because that's incongruent with the first thing that we said. We said that you create a safe space. If I walk in and I'm talking to you because you have told me that you love me, then the interesting thing is that not listening to me and ignoring me does not create a safe space for me. So it's about listening to them. Fabulous Me says, it is the small, quiet gestures that you don't notice until they are not done. I always try to point these out to my children and look for them as well as do them. Absolutely. The small, quiet gestures, like the safe space, like the listening. It's all of that. Because what I want to be very clear, I'm not talking about, in a romantic situation, your love language and how do you demonstrate romantic love. No, I'm just talking about on the surface level, on the level whereby, on the very broad level whereby you say to people, I love you. What can they come to expect when you say I love you? What do you expect? This is what I expect. If people tell me they love me, I expect to see a safe space and to feel safe around them. I expect them to listen to me. I expect them to acknowledge our differences without them trying to change me. And I do the same. If I say to someone, I love you, that means that I am going to acknowledge our differences without necessarily trying to change them. No matter how much you share with the person you are a different individual. You won't always feel the same way about everything. No matter how much you have in common, someone who loves you will accept your individual ideas. Yes, without needing to change. Why is it that sometimes when we meet people and we say, I love you and I love you, and then the next thing you know, we're saying, I love you and I wish they would stop doing that or stop doing this or stop doing that? Because as you get to know them, you have to embrace the package. It is McDine. I love those. I love that scriptural reference. It's patient. Love is patient and it's kind. Love means when you're trying to demonstrate and exemplify love, it means that you can acknowledge differences without even trying to change the person. I have good friends whom I love. We share a lot in common, but we're also different on several planes. Not all of my friends share the same faith. Not all of my friends share the same ethics, not all of them. Not all of my friends share the same opinions. But when you love someone, When you love someone, you embrace them, you accept them. You don't try to change every facet of them. And here's one of the other things that I've come to expect when people tell me that they love me. I've come to expect people to communicate with me. If you say you love me, or if I tell you that I love you, one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to make an effort to communicate easily, openly, and honestly. Now, with that, let me offer a quick caveat. I know that everyone has some private feelings, and there's nothing wrong with sometimes keeping those to yourself. Yes, unconditional love. I know that everybody has some private feelings, some private space. And again, there's nothing wrong with keeping that to yourself. But love requires open communication, honest communication. It does not necessarily mean sharing every single thought that you have. Because like I said, some of those private feelings, you can keep those to yourself, but it is about communicating. And when you communicate, you really are being very productive. You're pouring out of your heart. You're pouring out of your soul. You're getting to know each other by the words that you share. I like that. Let's see. I'm trying to read some of the things that you all are saying. And one person, Fabulous Me, said, I was just talking to my daughter about her father starting the car for her every morning, and is his way of sending her into the day with love. I absolutely agree with that. Wendy says, me too. I see my friends as souls and respect their differences to make my life colorful. Absolutely. Tracy says, exactly. Don't tell me you love me and I never hear from you. That's right. You communicate with the people whom you love. You make an effort to do it. And it should not be a strained kind of communication. It should not be a difficult kind of communication. It should be the kind of communication whereby you find discussing emotions. The kind of communication whereby you don't mind identifying and addressing areas of conflict. This is love, you all. It should be the kind of communication whereby you don't mind checking and talking about relationship boundaries. Making sure that you understand and don't misunderstand body language. Communication shouldn't be difficult. And then can I tell you something else that I've come to expect from people who tell me that they love me? And I try to give this as well. I encourage individuality. We may be best friends and we may love each other. We may be siblings and we may love each other. But what I do, I encourage individuality. We don't have to be the same person. And in encouraging individuality, I also support personal goals. I'm going to tell you, listen, go for it. Do your own thing. We don't always have to spend time together like all the time. You may have your own interests. I may have mine. So I encourage individuality, and I'm going to support and embrace personal goals. Oh, that's what you're doing. I'm behind you 100%. I'm with you. Go for it. You want to launch a business? Go for it. I'm going to encourage you. I may never start a business, but it may be in your heart and your soul and your mind to start a business. I'm behind you 100%. As long as you're not harming yourself or anybody else, go for it. I'm going to support you. That's what love does. Love supports individuality. It does not create a box where we have to be the same. I'm not looking for clones. And we shouldn't look for clones. When we say to people, I love you, and they say that to us, there should be no expectation that we have to be identical twins. Not at all. And don't allow people to put that on you, that requirement or that responsibility on you. That is unreal and unrealistic. So what I'm talking about is how do you show love? And again, this is not one of those things with your love language and all of that in romantic situations. This is just on a broad scale. What should we come to expect when people say they love us? Because I've known people to say that they love me, and their interaction looked nothing like love. Didn't create a safe space, didn't listen, didn't communicate, didn't encourage individuality. And here's another one. You create an atmosphere of trust. That comes along with that whole safety piece. It goes hand in hand. You create a safe environment. You create an environment, and you create a net of trust. And what does that mean? So when we break this word trust down, Cutler, what does it mean? Trust means the confidence that you have my best interest at heart. That's what it means. If you say to me that you love me, that means I can trust you. It means I can trust you. I can put my confidence in you. I can put my confidence in you that you have my best interest at heart. And if you have my best interest at heart, what's going to happen? We're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it. If you have my best interest at heart, you're going to encourage me to go for my goals. If you have my best interest at heart, we are going to create a safe space. If I tell someone I love them, if I say to you, I love you, you can best believe that I have your best interest at heart. And when I know the things that are important to you, they become important to me. Trust often develops, it develops and builds and it grows. If you have no reason to believe that a person has been dishonest, if you have no reason to believe that a person has been dishonest, that they have not lied or have not cheated, you learn how to trust. You have a trust. It means that they feel safe enough to share opinions. You feel safe enough to share opinions. That's what trust is. Trust stands on a foundation of safety. Because here's what happens, you all. If you say to somebody, I love you, or they say to you, I love you, and they mislead you, they deceive you, they betray you, it's very difficult. It's very difficult now to create this atmosphere of trust. You've torn it down. And you cannot mandate that people trust you once you've torn the foundation whereby they would stand on. When you tear and break a foundation of trust by misleading, by deceiving, by betraying, you've shattered the foundation. And they don't owe you a second chance. Oh my God. Nobody owes you. Nobody owes us. Nobody owes me a second chance. It's nice if they give me one, but they don't owe me that. And as you all are saying, and we may work our way out and just slide out of this conversation with this one, as you all are saying, love is an action word. Those who you love and value, thank you, Fabulous Me, you stay in touch with. Thank you, Tracy. Those who you love, don't tell me you love me and I never hear from you. You take time for them. Envy has no place in love. Integrity is also important, not just when the friends and families are in your presence, but even when they are not around. Love is an action word. And can I say this? Love is not only an action word, but love is an effort word. You make time for the people that you love. You make an effort to sustain the relationship, not just to maintain it and hold it and keep it in place, but to feed it. That's what it means to sustain it. You feed it, you fuel it, It's one thing to hold it up. You can hold it up and hold it in place. That's maintaining it. But to sustain it, to nourish it, and to nurture it, love is an effort word. But not fabulous me, you're reading my mind. It is an effort word, but it's not a chore. It's not a burden. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. It's not a chore for me to demonstrate my love. It requires my energy, absolutely. It requires some effort of me, absolutely. Like your husband who starts the car every morning, that's an effort and that's energy. But it's not burdensome. We have to put in the effort. So I want you all to think about this. The people who told you that they love you, you should come to expect them to make an effort to show that. When you tell people you love them, make an effort to maintain and to sustain the relationship. Because here's what happens sometimes. We have an initial and immediate attraction, an initial and immediate attraction. But enduring love that is patient and love that is kind and love that is endured and love that endures, it requires an effort. It requires energy. It really does. Action speaks louder than words. When you, I need to stop. I need to go, y'all. We need to wrap up this conversation. But when it comes to love, one of the things that I've come to expect is that if I love people, I'm going to help them meet their needs. Wendy says, love brings you from a place of shame to a place of honor. Absolutely. And one of the things that you can do when you receive love, it certainly brings you from a place of shame to a place of honor because someone has made you now feel safe. And they esteem you highly in their lives. And they look at you as a priority. They behold you as one having value. And so you come from the back seat, as it were, to the front seat of their lives. You come from a place of ambiguity to a place that sparkles and shines. And love is about making sure that you help people meet their needs to the extent that you can, to the extent that your resources will allow. Love is about making sure that you respect people because a relationship cannot thrive without respect. And love is about, I got to go. Love is about certainly wanting what's best for people. It really is. It is about wanting what's best for them. And love is about, I got to go, you all. Love creates a partnership and a bond. When someone asks me for something, I say, my pleasure. But if I can't, I'm honest and say no. You are absolutely. Love. Well, we can probably summarize our conversation in saying, when you love people, you show up for them, for the bad as well as the good. And you make it clear that they matter. You make it clear that they count. Why don't you all go this weekend and share love with people? Share and show love. And when people tell you that they love you, you have a right to have an expectation. I want to thank you all for allowing me to share this time with you. Please make sure that you have a tremendous weekend. It's Thursday. We'll get together. We will get together. Let's see. Yeah, we will get together next week, Wednesday. Wendy, I certainly appreciate that point as well. Love brings you from a place of shame to a place of honor. It really does. And what a humbling space it is to be held in honor in someone's heart. All right. So you all have a great weekend. Go on, and tomorrow for me, it's Good Friday. And then this is the Easter, the resurrection weekend. So Those of you who know me, you know exactly where I will be and what I will be doing. But enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Easter to everybody. And do me a favor, let's keep building community. Let's keep maintaining connectivity. Let's keep our heads up, keep our hopes up, stay safe, stay sane. And let's come back next week and do the same thing. All right. I'll see you all then. And please know this, that from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. There really will be. Good night, everybody. Until the next time we chat, tell somebody, come on, and let's talk to color. Hey, good night, everybody.